Hello folks, it's me Lucid. My apologies for the delay in content. New videos will be rolling out here consistently soon. I've been working on a script for a very special project and I'm excited. But with that being said, if you have a story you'd like me to read, consider sending it to the email down in the video or in the description below. But with that being said, bundle up, grab a snack, grab some nice headphones, and let's relax because we are going to dive into these terrifying stories. It could have ended badly. So this happened in 2011. So the exact dialogue may have escaped my memory a bit, but the situation is something I'll never forget. Also, AIM was still pretty active during this time, and so was video chatting. Think tiny chat. This is important for later. I was on an online dating site. I won't say which because I'll be dragged mercilessly in the comments, and I was talking to this guy. I was 31 at the time. He was 28. We talked for about 6 weeks before I gave him my phone number, and we took it offline to calling and texting for another couple of weeks. 2 months after our initial chat, we were texting, and he told me that he was out having a few beers at a bar near my house. He asked what I was doing and asked if I wanted to come out, but I had a very long day at work and didn't feel like going to a bar. I'm also not a big drinker. I invited him over to my place after he finished at the bar and he accepted. I figured I would be okay since I do keep firearms for protection and know how to defend myself if needed. I took a shower so I wouldn't smell like a water buffalo on a hot day. I then put on some makeup and got dressed to wait. He then called and said he was outside of my house. I clicked record on my computer's webcam program and turned off my monitor and went to let him in. It's around 10 p.m. and he comes in and we go back to my bedroom because my living room was being remodeled. We're sitting on the bed chatting for about an hour, talking about everything under the sun. The conversation flowed. He was very handsome and so easy to be comfortable with. We got on the subject of firearms and I showed him mine. About 15 minutes later, he asked for some water. So I go to the kitchen to get him a bottle. When I came back, he said he got a phone call and had to leave. After he left, I looked on my nightstand, where I put the firearm down after showing him, and noticed that it was gone. I looked everywhere for it, thinking I had put it down somewhere else. Nope, not there. I then played back the recording from my webcam program, and sure enough, it shows him grabbing it and putting it in his hoodie. I was terrified at that point. He knew where I lived. He had my firearm and he left his phone on my bed. Right then, his phone rings and I answer it. Come to find out, he's married. His wife was calling him wondering where he was. I told her everything, including the fact that he stole my firearm, and I had video evidence and was calling the police on him. Next thing I know, he's banging on my door, my firearm in his hand, asking me for his phone. The conversation went like this. I need my phone. Give me my phone. Not opening the door, but yelling through the window, I then said, Take the clip out of my FA. Empty the chamber, throw the clip into the bushes, the one in the chamber across the road and put it on the ground. No! Give me my phone! I'm on the phone with your wife at the moment and I have you on video stealing from me. I then put his wife on speaker. His wife audibly upset, cursing at him. He then runs and gets in his car and then comes back. I threw your gun in the ditch. At this point, I make him empty his pockets. take his pants off, take his hoodie off, and show me that he doesn't have my FA on him. All the while, his wife is on the phone. I go outside and get in his car, in the driver's seat, and tell him to take me to where he threw my FA. He proceeds to tell me that I don't know how hard it is for him, being a felon, not being allowed to own a firearm ever because of a mistake he made. The mistake? Domestic violence, involving a firearm. We then get up the road. He tells me that the FA is there in the ditch. Then, I realize the situation I'm in. I get out of the car and go get it, leaving him to do whatever to me if he chose. He was 6'4", 225 pounds. Me, 5'3", 135 pounds at the time. Or I could make him go get it, taking a chance of him seriously hurting me. I took that chance, since I was on his phone with his wife and my phone with 911. He retrieves my FA, brings it back to the car, and I drive back to my house and wait on the police. I get out of the car and he gets in the driver's seat. I'm still on the phone with the police. I walk around the back of his car to get his license plate number, and he just puts his car in reverse, hits me, and takes off. They found him later that evening. He still had the clip and the one in the chamber in his pocket, so now he's enjoying time in prison. I am so glad I never have to meet this person again. I walk to most places because being severely visually impaired, obviously I can't drive. I walk at night during the summer, which lasts anywhere from April to October if we're lucky. This is probably not the safest idea, but I'm from Texas, so temperatures of 100 degrees aren't unusual. One of my usual destinations was a convenience store a few blocks from my previous house. I set out one night normal to get myself some Pepsi and a candy stash. Our town isn't very big, and most people drive everywhere. It's very unusual to come across anyone else on my route to the store. But that night, a man appeared out of nowhere and started talking like he knew me. He asked me where I was going, and I told him. This guy had no reason to be there and was walking way too close beside me. He asked me where I was going, and again I told him, just in case I was overreacting. I sped up as much as I could, since this part of the route is very dark, with only a subway that had closed for the night. He definitely wasn't there for a $5 footlong. I tried to appear calm, though the alarm bells were ringing, and I was shaking to the point I was afraid I'd drop a crutch, which was probably the worst thing that could happen right then. Especially after he started asking what I liked in the bedroom, and he could easily have his way with me in the ditch, and no one would know. I felt sick, but I still continued my walk. The store was only about 20 yards away, and I knew the guy that was on the graveyard shifts. I got safely inside, and my friend handed me a bag to carry my stuff in until I was ready to check out. When I got up to the register, he began speaking loudly enough that my ears hurt, and I had to turn my hearing aids down because it hurt my ears. "Hey sweets, did you ever find my 3DS? I played along, and he opened the half-door thing and I sat on the stool like normal. The creepy dude came over and slammed his Bud Light and a 10 on the counter. After being handed his change, he went outside. He's still out there by the ice machine. After about 20 minutes, he still hadn't left. My friend called his manager, and after explaining the situation, she told him to lock up and run me home. He did, and even walked me to my door. I got out the key in the door and we stepped inside. Catherine said to give you this. He handed me a keychain and showed me how to lock and unlock the pepper spray. Call us before you come from now on. He's been coming in after you for the last 4 weeks. My friend then left, and I made sure every door and window was locked. So to the creepy dude who was following me for the past 4 weeks, let's never meet again.